Ja, das ist eine sehr merkwürdige Sache.
Fritz Lang's final years in Hollywood were disappointing. Many of his later films were not successful, and his reputation for being a tyrant had caught up to him. In his late 60s, and with eyesight failing, Lang was contacted by West German producer Arthur Brauner, who wanted him to direct remakes of two of his famous properties from the 1920s, Dr. Mabuse and The Indian Tomb, the latter being a film that he had co-written but did not direct. The exteriors for the West German-French-Italian co-production were filmed on location in India, the interiors on soundstages in Berlin. Part 1, The Tiger of Eschnapur, was released in January of 1959, with Part 2, The Indian Tomb, following 2 months later. Harold Berger is a European architect brought to the Indian kingdom of Eschnapur to build modern hospitals and schools for the Maharaja Chandra. Sita is a temple dancer who falls in love with Berger, but who unfortunately also catches Chandra's eye. When she runs away with Berger, Chandra decides to bury her alive in a giant tomb, a monument to his betrayed love, the construction of which takes precedence over all other projects. The Maharaja also has political intrigue to contend with. His kingdom's priests and generals all disapprove of his embrace of modernism, as well as his blasphemous affection for the temple dancer. Lang was a master of the art of cinema, whose early films profoundly influenced directors like Buñuel, Powell, Hitchcock, Kubrick, and Friedkin. His vision was both dark and epic, his greatest films often dealing with fate and mankind's penchant for violence. Lang's characters are often at the mercy of passions that are ancient, mysterious, and beyond their control and understanding.
Ist es nicht barmherziger, die Sterbenden von einem Toten bewachen zu lassen?
The spectacle and melodrama that were always in Lang's films reached new heights in The Indian Tomb. There is artificiality on display that is sometimes mistaken for camp or exotica, but is really part of Lang's presentational style, which prioritizes frame composition and movement. He is not after realism. The exaggerated theatrics, cliffhanger storytelling, and saturated colors are all aspects of Lang's method of creating a completely foreign world that feels like legend or mythology coming to life. This artificial surface quality connects to the film's central themes of artifice. It's all about facades, whether in building structures, rituals, or human beings. Most of the characters have hidden motives, some political and some merely romantic. We eventually learn that the immaculate public spaces of Eschnapur exist at a terrible price. The crippled, sick, and destitute have been herded into vast caverns underneath the palace and left to die. Accompanying the motives of mass and intrigue is the notion of fate. The characters, good and bad, rarely cause things to happen, but are forever reacting to events and struggling to outrun fate. Victory only comes through violence. Fate is treated as a natural force, something that can cause crime and warfare, but which also draws in magic and the supernatural, as in the scene where Sita prays for protection and is immediately rescued by a spider spinning its web.
Nun, da du Besseres besitzt, als alle Schatzkammern Indiens bergen, komme ich zu dir.
Ob wir ihn finden? Wir können nur hoffen.
Nicht die Götter, Chandra.
Like all the great auteurs, Fritz Lang is not only a technician, but a metaphysician, whose material art is in harmony with his vision of the world. No matter how much one studies his work, there is always a feeling of veils hiding deeper mysteries. In his best films, you sense approaching the heart of a great secret, the secret of cinema itself. Yet its core essence always remains obscure, which is why we keep coming back.